I walked past BDS while we were on break to go grab some water, and there was a lot of very angry voices, as you would come to expect.
Are you sure that wasn't just French? Because like my fiance is French. Sometimes it gets like that.
Congratulations on having a fiance.
Like, you have a girlfriend and you play video games? That's impressive.
That's impressive. Really impressive. No, I was just going to make a joke about, of course, a big flex, but I mean, your girlfriend is actually, or your fiance is actually stronger than you, so she could flex you right now.
She could.
Either way. No, I mean, it's entirely possible that I'm misinterpreting, and you don't want to think too much about it, but it's just another data point, right? If BDS are coming into this map and they're already tilted, they're already angry, maybe you're frustrated at a certain player not being up to snuff, maybe somebody made a boneheaded move 1 or 2 rounds in a row, all of a sudden, all of that anger spills over into this map. This is BDS's map pick of Cafe. So it stands to reason that they should come out ahead here. But the first 2 maps were won by the opposite team. So Team Liquid doing it again, winning BDS's map again is not out of the question. And if that happens, Team Liquid win the major, they're major champions.
Set your stats on fire, folks. Get your bets in. It's time for a heavyweight bout here on Cafe. BDS are out the gates. Liquid not going to have Jaeger at their disposal or Azami for the defensive and the offense, already making quite a bit of sense.
But Valkyrie is available.
To ask as well, which has been so very dominant across this entire LAN with it.
No Jaeger, no Azami. Valk had been a staple ban through those first 3 maps. Ying being banned out by Team BDS every single time is not a shocker. Liquid going with the hard breach of Hibana means that you will likely see an awful lot of ace because you don't want to be in too close proximity to those hard breach gadgets that are going down. Selmas that'll be thrown onto that wall that you see right there where Brede was just positioned at the top of red. Selma's being thrown onto the bathroom and back bar walls as well. When eventually Liquid goes downstairs, Selma's tossed onto that bakery and kitchen wall. And just as I say it, where does the Selma go? Onto the top of red, opening up some of that for the attackers. Lagonis gets chased out by a Rotero drone over by Humidors. BDS have opened up the hatches, and their assault will begin on this top floor.
It's a very good thing that Liquid have brought so much utility here with the shields, the castle barricades, and banshees, everything in between. There's so much utility for BDS to use here to try and break up this map with the 4 frag grenades as well as the Rotero drones coming through. Also have some of those impacts available to Alems, although more than likely already burnt those. Ask, gonna be down for the count. I don't know if he's recoverable at this current moment. There's really no one around him. They're going to have about like 20 seconds to go get him. I think Lagonis, he's on a medical mission across the map. It might be really close on the timer, but I do believe that he will get him, and he will indeed, with plenty of time to spare as well. Holding that wound, Shaiko, he knows they're down low, but he's not willing to try and burn a frag grenade for this.
3 players from BDS within striking distance. Shaiko takes out Ness, gives BDS a decent shot. This first bomb site for Team Liquid is upstairs in Cocktail. It's a good rhythm to Cafe. All 4 of the bomb sites should be seen before we finish this map. Resets now down for the count as well. Palu blown up by a grenade. This is the start that BDS needs. Down goes Palu, secured. Lagonis down now too. Aska's last man standing, coming up red stairs. Everybody from BDS still alive as the diffuser goes down. Can Ask make some noise? Looks to the left. Diffuser to the right. No, BDS starts with a flawless round on Cafe.
Back into the saddle for BDS. But obviously Liquid, they chose defense because why wouldn't you? It's Cafe, for God's sakes. They're going to start out on the top floor, which over the years has become less and less favorable for teams, especially considering, you know, Jaeger being banned out here in Azami. Gets a little bit more difficult. You only have those Wamai discs to really try and thwart things. You can maybe try and bring in some laser gates or something like that to really try and help yourself out. But no Rooney the last time around for Liquid. Instead, they're going to send it downstairs to Kitchen, and we're going to have a completely different look for this operator lineup. They're going to destroy the walls here inside a Kitchen, try and hold things here inside a bakery as well. This is going to be a defensive matrix for the history books, especially with this Frost and Capcan working their way in. They are trying to throw everything and the kitchen sink at BDS right now.
Oh, I get it. Kitchen sink. Because they're defending Kitchen.
Yeah, I'm not that...
We've got some real thinkers on this. Are you telling me that that wasn't intentional?
It might not have been. I might not have thought that far, I'll be honest.
Just shut up and take credit. That's what you got to do. Just be quiet and say, yeah, of course that was planned.
I am just that whimsical. I'm that deep. Look for my next rap album on SoundCloud.
In terms of this cafe map, its pick rate through this major is the second lowest, only trailed by Theme Park, tied with Border at just 5 plays. This will be the 6th time that we see a cafe. Basically a coin flip map, 55% of rounds won by the defense, 45% won by attackers. Nice play by Ask to shut down Alems as he drops. An opening pick for Liquid is good. They've managed to stave off at least a flawless defeat, as we had seen in the previous round.
Well, running into the issue you always do on Cafe, trying to find a foothold, right? But it looks like EFAC might be that variable that's necessary. Nobody playing coach check, nobody really home, and a huge opening here for him. Don't know if he saw the body inside a freezer. They do have the Banshees here. No, give up the goods. EFAC, he's in sight.
I cannot believe BDS are just doing this again. 90 seconds in, and suddenly they are very aware of the presence of BDS, Sam.
Something scary to think about. An F2 right on the other side of your door, especially when you're Frost. That SNG, it's good at range with that 1.5, but when it's up close and personal with a high rate of fire gun, not necessarily the operator that you want to be playing.
Sorry, is EFAC still just in there?
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
In coffee.
Oh.
He's going to deal some serious damage. Paulu's going to drop down. Somebody has to help their friend. The plant's going down inside a kitchen as well. BDS, they've completely went around the setup of Liquid. They've damaged it from the inside out, but Paulu's somehow been able to fight back. The plant goes down, but Liquid, they have the man advantage. BDS, they're doing their best. Rocking a hard play. Shaiko, he's got the crossfire, but he can't assist Renshiro here. The Pokeball will capture him. Shaiko, he has to make magic happen. We've seen it before. Do we see it again? We don't. Resets. He's been so good in this grand final, Parker, and he gets it done for them again. A 1-1 scoreline.
Well, time and time again, we see teams vacate the bomb site. And then the attackers rush on in. BDS do that. EFAC sees the entry point, tries to exploit it as he charges into the bomb site. BDS do not have it within their grasp to follow up. And just as Team Liquid did, en route to a championship against G2, that old Penta squad, they wait and bait in BDS and then go for the retake and punish BDS for it. Kitchen goes in favor of Team Liquid despite BDS getting that diffuser down in the 3rd bomb site. With 3 of these 4 bomb sites still open, will be over in reading. Right as the action happened, EFAC so rudely interrupted me. Cafe is the 2nd least played map. It's tied with Border for only 5 plays, but now we'll get its 6th, leaving Border as the least played map in the major. Cafe, 55% for the defenders, 45% for the attackers. Team Liquid starting on defense will then be given the benefit of the better side. In terms of the bomb sites, Bar Cocktail on the top floor. That was bomb site number 1 that Team Liquid went to. BDS won it flawlessly. It is the highest win rate and the most plays. So for the defenders, the win rate is 68% of all rounds. That is extremely lopsided. And BDS did it without Team Liquid winning a single gunfight. That's incredible stuff. This bomb site in particular, Reading and Dining, is another coin flip. 46% of rounds won by the defenders, 54% by the attackers.
Just shows you how difficult it is to try and hold some of these key portions of the map around utility pieces when you don't have Jaeger. You just have those magnets that come over time for Wamai, but a little bit harder to deliver on those promises when it comes to a timing-based utility. So we'll see if Liquid can possibly muster the same thing BDS has been on their offensive side when they get there, but got a long ways to go. About a quarter of the way through this map, Alems will start launching concussions downrange towards Pixel or Bolo spot, whatever you know it as. And our Liquid member will be able to reside in stacks for a little while longer. Love this pulse play here from Ask as well. Sign of a good pulse player, management of the cardiac sensor. You can see he's not just staying trained on that one player, he's looking around everywhere to constantly try and feed info back to his squad that could give them over a very big kill. A minute and 40 now remain. BDS, they've gotten in around the map. They've gotten their kill as well. This execute's starting to build, but after Lems goes down, it might be a little risky. What was that from Nesk? Shaiko, he puts his face in the wrong place, and he gets gunned down for it.
EFAC on Ash, losing all but 1 HP. Down on that bottom floor. He'll soldier on, worse for wear, but wearing it well. BDS, get in, get that first pick. Liquid answer back. EFAC, after taking off the last map, has suddenly shown up in spades so far through these 3 rounds. I need more performance like that from him. But again, just on 1 HP. So Liquid can shut him down with just about anything. No impacts and no nitro cells, so Liquid will just take gunfights directly. BDS working their way from mining and dining, opening up a portion of that dining wall. And now reading is the place for Liquid to turn their attention. Selma's going off on the hard wall to give a gaze into the bomb site. Get a good look as to where these Liquid players might be sitting. Only 30 seconds remain on the clock. Liquid just need to play this one out. The nitro cell that I'd mentioned is pre-placed, so you need to ensure the Valkyrie reset stays alive long enough to do something with it. Sledge will jiggle peek, losing the gunfight as Palu traded back by resets. Remember, EFAC is on just a single piece of HP, finished off by resets. He and Brede will now come to blows as there's only 5 seconds left. Can he run away in time? No, resets sticks it to him, and Liquid win their 2nd in a row.
Nothing quite like the Golden Deagle to put it away for a round. Liquid pull ahead here, 2-1. BDS. Ladies and gentlemen, I think they need some of your energy at this current moment. If BDS do not win this cafe, it's all she wrote. Liquid will be your major finalists. Ladies and gents, let's get some energy for BDS in the crowd. I think we got to cue a couple of French fans here. Maybe, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, we're in Europe.
We are, aren't we?
We are.
I did have to take a flight across the ocean. That's weird.
You certainly did. And European fans will cheer for European teams. What a shocker. Though I will say, in the W7M Liquid matchup yesterday, the crowd was quite loud for Liquid, just as they were for TSM in that TSM versus Sonics matchup in the quarterfinals. So they're not just cheering for what might be the home region team, they're cheering for everybody.
5 seconds left before insertion.
I like how they freed EFAC, by the way. You put him on the Ash, now you're putting him on more of those fragging-operated roles. Now it's Nook's time to shine. Palu going for the run out, doesn't find anything, but gives his position away by the reading door. EFAC needs to find that avenue up to the bomb site on the top floor. Use Nook to the best of her ability. A 2nd attempt for Team Liquid to go to the most defender-favored bomb site, yet Team BDS won it without Liquid being able to get a single kill back in round number 1. It'll be a perfect rotation for Liquid if they triumph on this cocktail bomb site. It will also lock this bomb site for the remainder of the half.
This is where the rubber hits the road for Liquid. They can get this round right here. This might be the demise of BDS going down the line. And Shear's gonna get a drone in for the skylight. Always a fantastic position to try and abuse the area of Long Bar. You can see into Freezer deeply as well, and you can also work it around that skylight to see some angles that you can't necessarily get to. That was just a regular individual. EFAC gonna be downstairs, but that frag grenade gonna be a call sign to his inevitable arrival here up brown stairs. Alems will take down Ask, but Palu, he hasn't missed a beat since the last map. Still on top of it, still in stride. He'll take down EFAC, and BDS now have to try and find some other means to open up this round.
Palu has favored the same spot under the skylight for multiple rounds now. And whether he does or doesn't get droned out is immaterial because he's still able to kill you even if you have intel on him. Now, not as the case for that engagement as Alems walks away with a very pivotal pick. Liquid trail in terms of numbers. They don't have to worry about the nook of EFAC, and also the best player statistically being EFAC helps them a lot. But it will be a far more direct assault from BDS. The numbers will continue to go in their favor. Down goes Nesk to Renshiro. Resets Nosy has one on Repel, soften up Alems. Nade from below from Shaiko, well timed. Lagonis with no kills to his name will need to find 4 to win the round. Can he do that? One on Repel, that was damage that was done to Alems earlier on. All he needs to do is be patient. Trying to bait them out, Alems doesn't hear this. Lagonis dies to the Claymore, Alems doesn't even to take matters into his own hands. The Gadget does it instead. Tie game.
BDS getting it done from the majority outside the building. All except for Shaiko that gets a kill with a grenade.
He wasn't even on the same floor.
Not even on the same floor. I looked over at our third-person perspective, and the entire top floor, besides Repels, was all Liquid. Everyone rotating around Christmas, bar, cocktail, trying to hold on to these angles and make sure that BDS cannot get inside. But BDS were ready. They were set for war, especially when it came to Palu. That was the big kill there from Alems. He was dismantling BDS at every corner from that position around the bomb chassis, but finally found an answer. So he's eliminated for round 4. BDS will keep it neck and neck, and that's exactly what they want for this offensive side.
I mean, if you keep it close, that's a win for both teams right now. In terms of these bomb sites, once again, it is a coin flip map. Even though there is a small advantage to the defenders, a 55% win rate for the defense is still at the mercy of what operators are banned and what teams are playing. We've seen teams be extremely proficient on defense, struggle on attack. That's going to skew the numbers. Vice versa as well. If you get 2 great attacking teams on a very defender-sided map, it's not out of the question to see it suddenly become attacker favored. And then you turn around and say, well, statistically speaking, through the entirety of this major, 70% of rounds have been won by the defense, but they've only won 3 rounds so far. What is going on? Well, it's because coin flip maps are often decided by the factors that are unique to that matchup and not defined by the map itself. And Cafe is in that boat. That said, BDS have 1 bar cocktail, one of the most defender-sided bomb sites in the match. Really incredible stuff for BDS and showing the confidence and comfort that they have. Now they'll lose Alems early, but
oh, here we go again.
He's a phantom menace. EFAC is in the bomb site again. They know he's there because the Yokai picks up on the Nook numbers, but he's able to still take down Lagonis either way. BDS need to take advantage of this even after sacrificing that first pick.
Indeed, a Phantom Menace, but this might be the duel of fates here between these two. EFAC, he's got the entire site to himself. This is the most oddball thing you've ever seen in your life. The offense, now the defense. They don't even have the plant down yet either. That's usually when we consider that even going on. Liquid, they vacated the entire bottom floor, and they now have to try and retake into a 3 versus 4. Palu attempting to look for something outside. Flirting with death there. Might have wanted to try and go for the hop out, but definitely not something he'd want to try and push too far. Only 30 seconds here, and BDS will take the lead for the first time in some time. Resets is going to drop back into Freezer. Nobody home for BDS, all except for Brede, who will fall to Palu. Remember, you need 7 seconds to defuse this, so 10 seconds remain here. They have to get something done. EFAC, he's literally prone on top of the case. Not enough time. Ace is in the hole for BDS. A wide door open as EFAC comes through and claims the round.
Boy, oh boy, if the reason why BDS goes to map number 5 is because of EFAC's performance on Cafe, then that in and of itself is an incredible story. But for the second time in a row, Team Liquid goes downstairs to this kitchen bomb site. They assemble most of their forces on the top floor, assuming that BDS will start with a top-down clear. which is a great assumption to make. Most teams are going to begin by clearing out Cocktail, ensuring that there's none of the defenders playing inside of Dining, over towards Train, or holding either of those staircases. But instead, they assess that there's nobody from Liquid inside a bakery. There's nobody from Liquid inside a prep. There's a single yokai drone there, and guess what? Nook is invisible. Yeah, you get those little spindly bars at the bottom, similar to what happens with Vigil's cloaking device, but that just tells you that there's a Nook nearby, not literally feet behind you. And for the second time on the same bomb site, BDS call that brilliantly, and EFAC gets in, does a ton of damage, and survives almost until the bitter end, as you said, lying on the case by those rack and rolls inside of the front of Kitchen. Team Liquid cannot win this first half. BDS still can. Best that Liquid can do is a 3-3. And Liquid being this favored defender team, this is not the result that they wanted, because it does not set them up for success on the second half.
And that is the damage that Nook can cause. An absolute anomaly when it comes to the offensive side of Rainbow Six. You're taught your entire life to trust your cameras, trust your ears, trust your instincts in this game. And then all of a sudden there's a ghoul that can creep into your sight and shoot you in the back of the head, unbeknownst to anyone, unless you're looking at her with your bare eyes. BDS able to capitalize on that. Round 6 now could be in their favor as well, as they've gotten the lead for the very first time in some time. Alems is going to be able to get rid of a little bit of utility, has these Rotaro drones to be able to assist as well, but have they gotten rid of the mute jammer here in the corner? It's the only thing that could be a little worrisome. Doesn't try and go for the soft paneling here. He's going right for this shield. It'll be easy peasy here inside of Pixel. Nest going to stick around. Usually you see highly mechanical players in this area. That's why we usually call it the Bolo spot over in NA, as he is the best about playing around those shields. But Nesk, obviously no slouch. More than likely to see Shaiko there later on in this match as well. About halfway through now for BDS as they're wrapping around this top floor. Really like EFAC playing on the single panel here for the white hallway as well, trying to keep Liquid back towards Stacks.
Oh my, Palu the first pick. Is that set for a Nitro Cell to go up from Ask? Can he thread the needle?
Oh no,
there it
please.
comes! Kaboom! Alems gets pulverized and blown to smithereens by Ask down below.
Alems, I thought he'd have the sixth sense there. Definitely not the safest place to be if somebody's magically shotgunning holes open beneath you. Probably a reason they're doing that. But apparently Alems needed to drone something out there. Gets taken down, and now BDS looking worse for wear because of it. It's a 5v3 in favor of Team Liquid. And they've been like Liquid for a lot of this series so far, being able to manage so much stress, so much pressure, and work around BDS. In fact, gonna drop off the top floor now where the rest of his team resides. Might be in just some big trouble though. It's a swing about to come through from Ask. Looking for it here. Oh, so very close. And he's actually gonna work his way up red. This is really gonna throw a spanner in the works.
They see one another. But can they capitalize off of this Pillars play? Both members of BDS nearby. EFAC turns around, Liquid pulverizing them. Renshiro's the last man standing. Having the best game statistically that he's had so far, denies a flawless round for Liquid. Will he find more than that? One more? That'll be it. Timer runs out. First half, 3-3 for both teams.
Well, you know what that means, Parker. Something has to give. Both of these teams bending. They're not breaking. The adaptations constantly from both sides, especially with this man right here, EFAC, and what he was able to accomplish on the offense. But the shoe's on the other foot. We have to see what these two teams can do respectively on these new sides. What a have to have here. Team Liquid, they're only 4 rounds away from claiming the major. But it feels like there might be another map in the works here. If BDS has something to say about it. They're now on the favorable side here. As Santero was talking about earlier, 55% defensive win rate on this map. It's actually quite close for Common Day Siege here, especially in the favor of the defense. You know, usually the offense getting away with a lot nowadays with attacker repick. But both of them even keel here coming into round 7. Team Liquid also having a different idea of how they want to go about this. We're going to have the Nomads in here from Palu to try and lock up the stairwell, something very common here on Cafe. Finka also in the works as well to keep those health pools high. Hopefully they'll keep their hopes up high as well and their heads down low. Got to stay alive. Lagonis will switch out for the Dokkaebi. That's a huge one there. Absolutely love that one. Know it's one of your favorites as well. The logic bombs coming in, making your job so very easy. Doesn't matter if you're a pro or a bronze. You drop one of those logic bombs and you know where a lot of players are across the field. You simply hop on a drone after that and you start searching.
Could be the last opportunity to do the first half tail of the tape, so why don't we? 3 opening picks for BDS, 3 opening picks for Team Liquid. But they don't directly correlate with the rounds that were won. Fun stat for you. BDS got the diffuser down 2 times that I have count. Potentially a third, because there were a couple times where they got kills as the diffuser was being planted. Relatively stable first half for both teams. Lagonis, right now, the only player to get a kill. The good news for Liquid is that he is so rarely their win condition. Being able to fire back is, of course, a good thing. You don't need to be Nicholas Maritzen or Pengu, as every single one of those advertisements says, to know that you want to be getting at least a couple kills in a match. But Lagonis has not been in a position where he needs to do that. Team Liquid have been relying an awful lot off Palu, resets, and lesser Nesk to get these first picks. And they've been doing an all right job. As for BDS, I would say far more impressive gunplay from BDS, but that's just through 6 rounds. There's still time for it to change. And Palu starts to heat up. This could be all but over. Nades go in. Bride avoids them. Another one will be tossed on in. Nitro Cell goes out. Does not find the target it wants. Liquid finds 2 picks very quickly on. A third as well, as there's Nesk. EFAC has the attention of 1, but the more that he's distracted, the less he'll be able to impact the actual play. The previous round, Renshiro got a pick to deny a flawless. EFAC will do the same this time. Lagonis with diffuser down. That's why he doesn't need to get picks. And Palu and him will trade, but it doesn't matter, because as the diffuser almost goes down, Liquid take their very first attack and their 4th round in this matchup.
All smiles as they take full control of the bar site. Not only that, but also a little interesting tidbit there. Nook on the rappel there for the windows. Not exactly something you see every day. Probably go to somebody else to try and play some grenades there, but doesn't really matter. I mean, Team Liquid and most importantly, Nesk getting away with so very much there. I also love just the fact that he jumped down white stairs to try and take that duel with EFAC. He's like, is it okay if I try for this quad real quick? All right, cool. So off the top rope we go. Team Liquid, pull ahead. 4-3 in BDS. I absolutely respect this decision making. They don't want to play up top anymore, Parker. They want to head down low into kitchen, see if they can get something going here. They're going to have the crossfire set up here inside of coat check. That's more than likely where we could see somebody like Shaiko. We don't see them sending nearly as many bodies to the north as we saw from Liquid, as they had bodies all over our 2nd and 3rd floors. We're going to have a couple here from BDS, but a lot more of a home body for the majority of the squad.
It's a rough game from Bride as well. Shaiko showing that he's quite mortal. Thank God for the rookie. That's what I'm sure BDS are saying, except BDS fans will be saying that in French. See, the only God that I tend to hear about in Quebec French are words that I can't say on this broadcast. Talk about the church.
The only one that I know is baguette, because it means like a couple of different things. It means bread, as in, you know, the shape of bread. But did you also know that it means...
Very worried where you're going with
Did you know it also means magic wand? I'm not even joking. If you watch Harry Potter in French, the magic wand is a baguette. Just like that. The French come through with some magic of their own. No baguette needed. Nitro Cell instead will take out Ask.
Renshiro is having one of the best matches of this entire major, and BDS are so desperately in need of that. Liquid answer back as Resets walks in, gets a kill, backs out. Logic Bomb will go off. Lagonis might not have a kill, but he was getting the diffuser down in the previous round, and now he's doing utility work.
Oh my God!
Excuse me on that flick!
What was that from Nesk? Truly disgusting. The reaction time. This man has been playing this game since beta. It's been 7, almost 8 years of Nesk dominance, and he's still putting in the work. Disgusting stuff inside of lobby.
Well, its sledge is available now as it had been banned out on a previous map. Team Liquid are showing exactly how you want to apply that soft destruction over top of the kitchen bomb site. BDS still have 3 left, and a yokai up, at least 1 yokai. Renshiro, with that earlier pick, is now backed away, seeking some safety in the kitchen, but BDS's numbers will go down. Renshiro now under fire. EFAC down for the count. Bride inside a freezer, but that's intel given to Liquid. Neska's been dropped. Renshiro could potentially capitalize off this. Resets will take his teammate's place. He sees the head of the Echo, but Bride wins the engagement. It's just Palu left. Neska's bleeding out. A grenade gets tossed on in, but Palu does not have the target in mind. Can he get to Nesk on time? That is the question. Is he retrievable? 30 seconds to go, and Palu is going to try for that. BDS might not know that there's a down, but Renshiro has the angle. Palu will cross paths with him. There's a nade ready, prime. The yokai getting into a different position. Grenade goes in. Bride's now been dropped as well. Palu needs a single kill on Renshiro. Can Renshi pop up with these 10 seconds left? Ness bleeds out. There's the engagement. Palu knows he's in the back of the kitchen with the shotgun. Palu just needs to hit a single shot, but Renshi flattens him.
On his belly, he crawls around the kitchen floor with his shotgun in hand, awaiting his prey. Palu gets just a little too close to the sun, and he's evaporated. Team Liquid now tied up 4-4 with BDS after a fantastic opener from Nesk. It's snuffed out by the French squad. To the mid-floor we go, back and forth we go here on Cafe. What a round there from BDS, staying stalwart in their site setup. Been really, really appreciative of the way that they've been able to work with each other, coinciding extremely well on their angle play, their angle work, masterful. Such an ability to take down Liquid. Doesn't come easy, especially when you're playing up against somebody like Nesk.
Oh my. This almost feels like a 5th map. It's not, but BDS are fighting for their lives because Liquid are on the verge of a championship. Their last opportunity to win on a major stage came all the way back in 2021 at SI. If Liquid do it, with Lagonis currently dropping 0 kills, that's going to be an interesting factoid in this final map, one for the history books. Either way, it's always nice to be able to sit alongside and watch history in our esport unfold, and this match definitely checks off that box.
Yeah, you can feel it. You can feel the energy in the room. You can feel it in the lobby right now inside this server. Liquid's going to open up the hatches upstairs with Palu and that sledge. Also, Lagonis, just as a fun little reminder for you, actually the most effective support player here at LAN. Shut down here thus far in this series. He has a cost of 74% here in Jönköping. Minute now down off the clock. Liquid mostly focused about trying to clear out this top floor, play around these windows, try and get something done around Stack. That frag grenade will prevent some stuff, some preventative maintenance here. Another nade down and a swing here, but Alems, he's waiting in the wings. He'll take down Ask, who hasn't had the greatest of games, but we need to see somebody assist the rest of Liquid. Otherwise, BDS, they're most definitely building up to around 9.
Palu patrolling this open window. Looking on white. See if somebody from BDS will decide to peek that direction. No, they won't. Valkyrie cameras set up, strewn about the map, covering the entry points that Liquid can use to get on in. Losing that Nook early for Liquid, frankly, sucks with a Valkyrie on the board because you can evade watch on those cameras. Double digits for Renshiro, by the way. He and EFAC leading this team with 20 kills combined. Could it be an 11th? Yes, it is. Through the wall. EFAC takes over the lead on his team. Shaiko is down for the count. Bride is as well. Neska's in the middle of the bomb site. Liquid finding an exploit of their own, and suddenly they are toppling this BDS defense, but Alems reveals his presence from above. Lagonis gets the diffuser down, still hasn't found a kill. Down goes Nesk, and down goes Lagonis as well. Palu put in a clutch situation.
The clutchest player Atlan has the most and the opportunity again to do it up against BDS, and what a time to be alive for all of our fans at home. The sledge holes will be made above, the shots back and forth, back with the quad, and BDS take the lead again.
What a performance from this new player, powering up as the time goes on, absolutely dominating. Taking it to these storied players on Liquid, some of the best players to emerge from all of Brazil, and he gets a quad. No timeouts have been taken just yet. Both these teams so close. BDS 1 round away from match point.
Man, looks like we're gonna be going over to mining and dining, fireplace hall, whatever you guys call it at home for your respective squads, friends, ranked games, solo, whatever you play. BDS is most definitely gonna be headed here. Gonna be changing some things up here in the defensive lineup. I really like the addition of the Maestro here. You're really trying to keep track of what's going on, especially inside of mining. Very quick access for the offenders via blacktop outside to this bomb site. So probably a good thing to have cameras and things along those lines, like this Evil Eye that we see here. Also gonna have some Banshees and a couple of other tidbits around to try and slow them down. Also the consideration of a rotate down low here for EFAC. And he has been setting the world alight. 14, 7, and 2. KPR of 2 practically here for him, but even much higher actually at this moment in time as we've played through 9 rounds. So it's really incredible what he's been able to accomplish. It's the 2.0 KD for himself. Palu will actually throw it over onto the Twitch. 9 and 9 at the current moment through 9 rounds, so at least 1 to his name every time around. Speaking of eBack from earlier, he's gonna have yet another opportunity. He's gone creeping, he's gone fishing the knife. Oh, he panicked so hard. He panicked so much, and why wouldn't you? Terrifying is what that could have been if EFAC went down.
Oh man, we've all been there. Whether you're in a major final or you're playing down in copper or silver ranks, you've panic knifed the air before.
Oh, Nesk. He is so close to getting this kill on White Stairs, but I do believe it was Renchi. He's backed off here. BDS, they're playing this one close to the chest. They do not want to give Liquid an inch.
Ooh. I feel like EFAC's been the only one to make Nook work, and it's asked to save his team's hide. Picking off that raid boss of BDS. Now grenade goes in, caught by the Wamai disc. Another one will go. Ask, can he outduel Alibi? Yes, Shaiko goes down, Alems as well. Liquid want to tie this and want to do so desperately. Renshiro, the backup plan for BDS if EFAC's unavailable, gets 1 kill. Liquid still have 4 more. Bride holding down the B bomb site with the Alda in hand. Can shoot through multiple opponents with such ease. And he starts off with Nesk. How many more? None. Resets, ends that one. Renshiro needs more than to trade, and he can't outduel Palu and get a trade at all. We're gonna need 12 rounds. 5-5 for these teams. They cannot shake each other.
Well, the win rate for Liquid on this map, 42.9%, 3 and 4 since March of 2022. We look across the fence over to BDS, 6 and 2, 75% win rates. But that's not what we're getting inside of this series here, is it? 5-5. And this just goes to show you the energy, how these players feel, how they play in a grand final. Stats, they're thrown out the window. Liquid, they're here to close things out. BDS, they're trying to stop the unstoppable. The force of water, let me tell you, something you never want to deal with. But thus far, they've done a good job at staying neck and neck with this team. This defense, it's been coming together, especially for EFAC. But I mean, Parker, we have got to see something out of Shaiko. If BDS want to make it through this thick of the woods, if they want a map 5, Shaiko has to activate. He was there for so long in those earlier maps. I hope he didn't use up his magic already.
Fond memories of BDS versus Ninjas in Pajamas back at the 6th Invitational in 2020. It was a best of 3. Ninjas in Pajamas prevailed en route to their grand finals appearance. Shaiko had been unstoppable up to that point. He dominated map 1. But map 2, he was immortal, and map 3, Shaiko disappeared from the face of the earth. We're seeing a similar story here. Shaiko was great in maps 1 and 2. He had a great start on Oregon, then cooled off, and now he is towards the bottom, and he's actually tied with BDS at the very bottom of BDS, which is uncharacteristic of somebody who has been an absolute tour de force on the server, on every battlefield that his team finds themselves playing on. Shaiko needs to find some consistency. BDS still very much in this, though. Match point for either team. Championship point for Team Liquid after this round if they prevail. Crowd trying to get BDS back into this.
There it is, the Shaiko chance starting to come through. But I hate to break it to you guys, there's more than one GOAT existing inside of this farm right now. Nesk and Palu looking for their first championship, and they might find it. Nade out, they're gonna take down Shaiko. 0.5 KD out of Shaiko on this map. Things you thought you'd never hear me say.
No, I didn't, frankly. Lagonis still without a single kill, Sam.
But yet they're still getting it done. All the drone work, all the heavy lifting from him in the utility department, it's worked out, especially giving it over to players like Nesk. They know where this man is, but Reggie's just better. Palu fires back. They're trying to recoil. 4 versus 3 in favor of Liquid, working their way on site. Still a lot of players on Rappel here. We have one inside of Cigar, still 2 inside of the freezer space. This is a key component, especially with Ask working up the back stairs. And somebody has to have eyes in the back of their head. It might be time. Oh, it's Renchi. They're watching it. They're ready. Oh, Liquid. No EE1Ds in the pocket either, but a kill, and one that they needed desperately.
Last 2 players isolated in back bar. Palu is there on the hunt. Can they watch the cross? Alems has made it to the hatch, and he will drop. BDS under fire. They know he's pinned down. They know he's trapped, but Alems comes to the rescue. Lagonis still searching for his first kill. Won't get it! BDS moves to match point.
That was their chance. That was Liquid's opportunity to take that round. They get desynced with their Nook coming up white stairs. There's no crunch, no spice to this meal. Liquid get gunned down in the respective 1 versus 1s. BDS playing so well as a team there, and that is a huge requirement, especially on a map like Cafe when things start to get broken down. Late in the round is when all those walls, all those angles are open. You're worrying about windows and everything else in between. And they're still able to get it done. Eyes in the back of their head practically as the Nook clambered up white stairs. But BDS still able to prevail.
Kitchen bomb site was won by BDS all the way back in round number 8. In fact, BDS has won this on attack as well. 2 of the 3 times we've seen it pop up. Skyscraper awaits us as map number 5 if BDS prevail here. If not, we go to overtime.
Which would be truly psychotic. I don't know if any of you have watched any of the skyscrapers that we've had at this event, but oh my God, are they diabolical. And in between these 2, I don't even know. I don't even know if I could pick a team. It'd be every round, just like we've seen here on Cafe. And honestly, Parker, I think it deserves it. BDS, they have an opportunity to send us there right now. Otherwise, Liquid, they're forcing overtime, and it is regular OT rules. It's a best of 3. So we'll see what they can do if we end up getting that far.
The only concern that Liquid should have is that they got 7-0'd on Skyscraper yesterday against W7M. The first and only 7-0 that we have seen at this entire event. That's cause for concern. Can Liquid put it away here? BDS 5 kills away from pushing us to a 5th map. And all the majors this year, by the way. I mean, if you exclude SI. Charlotte and Berlin, they needed all 5. Sweden Major and Javla last year needed all 5. So, where do we go? Who prevails? 1 minute off the clock. It's a downstairs hold for BDS. And they take the fight to Liquid. Alems opens things up and gives BDS kill number 1. 4 more to go for BDS.
All right, Lagonis, it is time to prove your worth. 0-9-1 coming into this round, but he could be the man to make it happen, forcing this OT. 5-4 in favor of the French right now. They're doing such a good job of keeping Liquid guessing on where their map control will potentially be. Resets will go down as well. BDS, they're powering up across the entirety of this map right now. Liquid, they haven't found a single home for anyone, just damage after damage, blow after blow from the defense continues to land up against Liquid. Lagonis now trying to work his way in via Prep Kitchen. If he stands up, Shaiko is right down the line of sight. A scary prospect here for him. Another Selma down to make some noise. Lagonis wants no one to know what his next move is going to be. The plant now commencing. I don't know if the Selma's got the stop here. Oh my gosh, I think they've done it. Lagonis, he's done it. He's slipped through the cracks. Nesk, he's got the angle here for Prep. He's got the rotation hole, but BDS have their full power and Nesk is dead.
Oh my, Palu is still upstairs as well. That leaves the 0-9 Lagonis to wait. Palu sees them skirt by. There they go, Palu being ever so patient. Down goes Lagonis. Palu, you need to go. You're being too slow. Renshiro on the diffuser. BDS, flawless 7th round. We need a 5th map between these two titans.